Hi, Bob C here. Yeah, I'm just gonna. This can be the first in a series of putting holes in your cymbals or doing modifications. Now, as you can see, my handy artwork here. What the plan is, I'm gonna have 4 holes, which I'm gonna drill out with this carbide tip bit close to 2.5 inches, and I'm going to run 4 slots, and I'm going to use this another carbide tip bit. I picked up a set on Amazon, about 40 bucks. I don't know, this is better than 3/4, somewhere like around 7/8, somewhere around there. It's all metric sizes. And I'm going to use that. They will be at the 2 ends, right? I'll put one. Let me see if the camera sees it better here. Possibly. I don't want to have to do this over. So you put one here, hole, and a hole there, and then when you got your 2 holes, you would take a ruler, right, and just connect the 2 outer edges of the circles and run a line, and then go through with a Dremel tool with the little fiber wheel. I'll do a video on that. I just wanted to go through how to get to this point, because you got to lay everything out if you wanted to get it halfway symmetric. So what you're going to want to do is going to get the circumference, okay, and we're going to use the rule that pi times the diameter gives you the circumference. In this case, it's over 50 inches, okay, and I find this is a handy these flexible rulers here. They're handy to do your layout. And since there's going to be 8 items, you're going to want 8 lines or 8 spaces. So you're going to want to divide that by 50, and that works out in this case to be close to 6.25 inches. And so I just go around, right? And I don't use this edge. I use the one. And instead of 6 and change, I do 7 and change. And you'll have to play with it probably, because it's a little funky. Trying to do everything, hold everything, and mark a line. So, but you get it as good as you can. You know, I'm not going for perfection, just, pretty neat. So the things I found over the past working with these, just a little hobby I do. I found this ruler. It's kind of bent up. Got this years and years ago. But they're very handy because they conform. It's very thin. It conforms to the shape of the cymbal. Makes it easy to draw lines. You can get this at Staples. It's a bit thicker, but you could still use it. Other tool I find also very helpful is a center finder. Supposedly that's what they call it on the internet. They call it a center head, center finder. Got different names for it. They're all the same. But once you get your spacings, your lines for your spacings, it's easy to just bring it to the edge, right? And just go there, and now you can easily just strike a line, right? Say, that. Okay. Then you can go on to the next one, and then you can measure, you can set it up so the inch line is right here. Then you can count on up, whatever whatever markings you want to put on it to make your holes. So that's just some things I found to be helpful. You got a Cymbal here, the same company, all right. And this one, if you hear it, it's thin and it's light and it's trashy already. If you start putting holes in it and the takeoff weight, it's only going to become deeper in tone, and it's going to get to a point where it's not musically nice any longer. It's just going to be useless. But this one, I'll compare the two. This has a heavier weight, so you can afford to take some off. It's not at that trashy weight. And the thing you want to look at when you're getting cymbals, there's a lot of cheap cymbals out there. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. You want to look at the lathing. Now, you probably can't see this, the lighting ain't the greatest here. But this is regular lathing. It's not exactly even. The depths aren't always even. The spacing isn't always even. You see some cheap ones and they got circular lines and they're like perfect. That's just stamped, as far as I can tell. But regular lathing that's done on a lathe, individually and not stamped. You can see a little better here. It's not even, and they're working from the center out, right? And it's hard to see, but you'd have to really look at it good, and you would see that they're not all exactly different. So if you see stuff that's every groove is the same, I highly doubt it's been done with a real lathe. Okay, so those are just some things you want to look out for, because you can go cheap and really pull off some good things if you plan it out, and it's a bit of a gamble. This might not come out that good at all, but hey, it was cheap. It's a gamble. It's just a hobby. The other thing, in the next video, I'll be doing the actual drilling, but what I do is, I got these holes here that are center of the circles that I'm going to be drilling, right? What I do on the top, because I lay it out on the top. You try to lay it out on the bottom, it wants to bounce all over the place. So I lay everything out on the top. And then I just don't go plowing in with the full-size bit here. But what I do is, on all the centers, right? You can see all the centers here where I'm going to be drilling. What I do is, I might take a punch and do a little punch so I can be right on center, or I may not. It depends. Depends on when I'm drilling, how it actually, if it wants to walk away, I'll use a little punch. But I drill the 1/8 through the top, right? Put a scrap piece of wood underneath. And then when I do the full-size drilling, I use an 1/8. Then I flip it over. And then I'll flip it over on the other side. And then I'll come in with the full-size bit, because you're starting off initially with a 1/4 inch. So your pilot is an 1/8 of an inch. So that's a good size to come after that with a 1/4 inch. And then you get your pilot hole going, then you go in easy. I'll be going over this in the next video and demonstrating it. So then you can get your pilot going, and then you ease in with the variable speed hand drill, not a drill press. I had a pretty nice Zildjian cymbal I was working on, and I used the drill press. Forget about it, it was a disaster. So that's my recommendations. So on the next video, I'll have the pilot holes drilled, the 1/8 of an inch. I'm sure you guys can handle that if you're into doing this. And then I'll get into, demonstrating these and going forward. Okay, so hopefully what I'm telling you will be helpful if you're into this kind of a thing. And until next one, have a blessed day. Bye.